And I have another saying for them guys. I always say, here's our problem. You all want to fight your own war with the same army. Right? There's us. But help me with the governor. Help me with the Senate. Help me with this congressional race. Help me with this. Help me with that. We only got one army. Okay? We have to make decisions. We have to set priorities. We have to decide what we're going to do. And so we have to have some good thought into this. Is it worth it? Should we do this? What do we get if we do this? What's our return on investment? We're business people. We just don't do it for nothing. But when you see me talking about this stuff, and you see, when people ask you to help them, I want you to keep that number in your head. You're a major player, and I look at you that way. So, we did a poll. We could go Saturday. We polled Tea Party leaders in the state. About 206 of you. Some of you voted, I know. Okay? And in that poll, Mary Taylor got 67.86, and Mike DeWine got 32.14. That's where our leadership is. Okay? However, there's been a lot of shifting in that race, right? You know, Houston was in, now he's with DeWine. Renacci was in, now he's running for Senate, right? So I decided to do a trick second question. The second question was, if the election were today, would you vote for Mike DeWine, Mary Taylor, or would you want someone else? See that?
Ronald Wilson, right?
DeWine 12, Taylor 19.64. 68% of you want someone else. That's called low enthusiasm for a race. Right? Because we have options. We can be for DeWine, we can be for Taylor, or we can just sit out. Nobody says we got to do what we do. Right? We're getting paid. No one's making you do anything. You got to want to do it. And I got to try to convince you to do it. Okay? So what the heck do we do? What do we do here? Okay? Now,
vote for Tom Z.
Vote for Tom Z. Yeah, that'll go over really well. Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's another thing we learned in the Tea Party that you guys got to know this is true. You got to know this is true. This is an absolute scientific fact that's been studied forever. You know who wins elections? The tallest person. I just lost.
Right there.
Okay. The tallest person, the best looking person. I'm 0 for 2. And you better have a good name. Zawistowski's not a good name. It doesn't even fit on billboards. Can you picture a yard sign with that on there? It'd have to be like one of those real long ones. But honest to goodness, that's a fact. And that's why you will see, like, Mike DeWine and Mary Taylor will never be on the same stage together. They won't do it. But you got to know that that's true. Those things really make a difference. So if you're tall and good looking and have a great name, you want to put yourself on signs with your opponent's picture on it. Okay? You know, but that if you have an Irish name in Cleveland, if you're Murphy, if your name is Murphy or O'Toole or whatever, and you run in Cleveland, you want to run for judge, you'll win every time. You'll literally win every time. They don't even have to know who the hell you are. Because one O'Toole's the same as another O'Toole, right? And so it's honest God's truth. But we have a real situation here to deal with. We have a real problem. Okay? Now I will tell you that part of the problem is this. Jim Renacci did not want to run for Senate. Did not want to run for Senate at all. I talk to Jim Renacci every single day. Okay? I talk to Mike Gibbons every single day. I talk to Mary Taylor almost every day. I'm sick of talking to these people. Okay? I don't even know which more to say.
Today you're talking to me and I'm going to vote for the U.S. Senate.
There you go. All right. So here's the deal. You got, the bottom line is they're trying to clear the field. So they made an offer to Houston to join DeWine. Well, what's that about? Well, that's kind of about, you know, maybe a 70-30 bet versus a 50-50 bet, right? John Houston sees Mike DeWine's age, right? And got to figure he ain't going to serve it, 8 years, right? I mean, that's just being real. It's going to be tough for him to serve 8 years. And again, I've asked Mike, why are you doing this? Just to get a notch in the belt? I mean, you've held every bloody office known to man, right? If you haven't, your wife has, right? So why are you doing this? And I think it just is one of those things. He doesn't need, they're filthy rich. He doesn't need to run for governor. And when you talk to him about his vision, there's nothing earth-shaking that I've heard him say that he wants to do. So John Huston's looking at this and saying, hey, I'm LG. All Houston has to do, all DeWine has to do is step down while he's governor. Houston becomes the acting governor, then he's the incumbent, and you just go. Okay? A deal was cut. Money was exchanged. That's what happens. So now we get Renacci, right? So they got DeWine in Houston, and Josh Mandel drops out. Stunned me. Stunned me. Okay? Yes, sir.
Dorothy Polenda.
What's that?
Dorothy Polenda.
Polenda. What's the other guy? The guy who was running for a state seat, Mingo or something like that. He dropped out. The guy from Columbus was a treasurer candidate or whatever. They all dropped out. You know why? No one give them any money. You know why? Because if you try to give money, the phone rings. And then someone from the establishment says that you give them money will ruin your business. Okay? That's what happens. Folks, I'm not making that up. I'm telling you the truth. Our Republican Party in this state is a mafia. Flat out. I grew up with the mafia. I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania. I went to school with the mafia. Okay? This is a mafia. They will hurt you. Okay? They will literally, I've seen them offer jobs to people. I've seen them say, I'm going to take your son's job away if you don't go the way I tell you. Okay? It's just that's what we're dealing with here. We're trying to overcome that. Okay? Again, rule of law. But the bottom line is that they wanted Renacci out because Renacci was a viable challenger to DeWine. And so this whole business about, we want the president, the president has to ask you to run. I'm just telling you flat out, the day that Josh dropped out, that Friday, if you got my emails, you would have seen a bunch of things going on. I was one of the first people to say that Josh dropped out. And then I endorsed Mike Gibbons because I was hearing rumors that Kasich was going to run for Senate. And I wanted to make sure he didn't get in. And I asked your groups and other groups to endorse. Some did, most didn't. But that was what I was trying to do. I said, Josh dropped out. We've got a good guy. We don't need anybody else. Okay? Well, all you heard was news stories about Mary Taylor should run, Renacci should run, everybody you could name should run, and they didn't even mention Mike Gibbons. Mike Gibbons had been running for 6 months.
Same here.
Right? He's been visiting people all over the place. He's been running. Okay? So the bottom line was, why were they trying to make this switch? And so that day, I wrote an email to Jim Renacci and to Mary Taylor. And I said, I've endorsed Mike Gibbons, and I'm telling you that if you switch from governor to Senate, I will not endorse you. And Jim Renacci called me, and he said, I don't want to run for Senate. I want to run for governor. I think I can win. I hate Washington. He does. But he cries on my shoulder all the time. Yeah.
Why do they love DeWine so much? Because Renacci's a congressman. That's part of the establishment in essence, isn't it?
They're all part of the establishment.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So why do they, if one's pretty big, why do they favor one over the other?
Because of the money. Because of the money. Follow the money. Why don't they want a primary? Because you don't have to spend any money.
Save it for the general election.
You can use it in the general, okay? So literally, I talked to Jim Renacci every day that week, and he said, I'm not running. He said, I told them the only way I'm running is if the President of the United States calls me on the phone and says, Jim, I need you to run. That's literally what he told me, okay? And he just kept hanging up on him and said, I'm running. And then he was going to have a press conference the day that Mary Taylor announced her lieutenant governor candidate, Nathan, from this area, okay? And they were going to have a press conference. Renacci was going to have a press conference in Columbus to say, I'm running. I'm staying in the governor's race. These rumors about me running for Senate are not true. And he got a call from the White House. And they said, we want you to come to DC. The president wants you to run. And he went to DC, and this is God's honest truth, okay? He had a list of things. He had enough common sense to say, because a lot of people just get so full of themselves, oh, the president wants me to run, go jump off this cliff, okay? He's thinking, you're asking me to run against Sherrod Brown in Ohio. I'm not going to run unless you give me these things I need to win. And he had a list. And he expected them to say no. He really did. He thought he'd ask for some things and they'd go, oh, we can't do that. He'd say, well, then I can't run. I'm going to run for governor. And they got to the end of the list and he had said yes to all of it. So he said, I got to call my wife, and he left. And literally, he got to call, so he says, I got to call my wife, because he didn't know what else to say. They basically made him an offer he couldn't refuse. President of the United States asked me to do something. President of the United States asked me to do something, I'm going to say yes. Donald Trump calls me and says, I want you to do this, okay? But Sherrod really wanted to run for governor. He's running for Senate because they asked him. Now, they asked him, but why did they ask him? Okay? And my belief is that it has more to do with the governor's race than it has to do with the Senate race. My belief is it was to make sure that DeWine has a better chance of winning. That would be my guess, okay? And so where are we, right? So we lose Josh McDowell, okay? Then we were back in Renacci for a lot of us, okay? Because, again, he was better than the rest, okay? And now he switches. So now what are we going to do here, folks? What do you want me to tell you to do? Mary Taylor cannot win without us. She might be able to win with us. But my question is this a fight we want to get into? When John Huston and Mike DeWine joined forces, of course they reached out to me right away. Tom, now, you got to join with us. We're the best team. We need you, Tom. Sign up with us. Okay? I said, and I can give you the email if you want to see it. I wrote to them, I said, you know what? This uni-government we've had, this unified government, supermajorities in the Ohio House, supermajority to Senate, every state office, everything from dog catcher. I said, how do you think that's worked out for us? I said, we busted our butts to elect all of you clowns, okay? And here I sit, after 8 years of Kasich, or 7 years of Kasich. I don't have workplace freedom. I don't even have paycheck protection, for God's sake. I got Medicaid expansion, which we got 550,000 signatures to stop it. John Kasich signed the damn form. I said, I don't have a Passenger Protection Act. I don't have a heartbeat bill. Exactly what did I get? What did we get? We got some Second Amendment stuff, right? We did get some gun things. I'll give them that. But really, we got nothing else. So I said, I'll tell you what I do know. I'll tell you what I know. I said, I know one thing. If Richard Cordray were governor and he line item vetoed the Medicaid expansion freeze, I guarantee you the House and the Senate would have overridden his veto. But because there was a Republican governor, they didn't do it. So I said, so guys, let me be clear to you. Not only am I not very interested in helping you in the primary, but I may not be interested in helping you at all in the general. Because maybe divided government works a little better for the people. Because you guys have done nothing for us. Now that's a bitter pill to swallow. But folks, that's the truth. We got stiffed. We got nothing from these people. Matter of fact, what we got is abused. That's what we got. So it's been ugly. Yes, sir.
Jim LaBarbera, the famous music guy.
What's
Jim
that?
LaBarbera, the famous music guy.
Yeah.
He won a position in Sycamore Township, and when he won, this guy told me to email him with different things. But now that he's won, he's not really interested in the answer.
No, yeah. Once they get in, and that's our problem, right? Because everything we do is on the if come, right? Everything we do, John Kasich promised us everything, right? He said we'd have workplace freedom. He said, we'd have all these, things changed in our state that we want to change. Education reform and stuff. We didn't get any of that. So we got to see what's going to happen here. Because the question is, is Mary Taylor's campaign legitimate? Now, I will tell you for a fact that with Nathan joining her as lieutenant governor, their game has improved dramatically. This guy's first class. She should have hired him or, recruited him 6 months ago. They may not have enough time. We'll see what happens. We'll do some polling. We'll see if this is something that's worth us getting into. See, because what's a safe bet? See, if we go for Mary Taylor, what does that mean? That means DeWine and Houston are going to punish us if they get elected. They're going to look for ways to hurt us. They're literally going to look for ways to hurt us. So there's risk to this. It's not a risk-free game. If we sit out and don't endorse either one of them and just say whoever wins the primary will support you in the general, it's a lot safer for us, right? So sometimes you got to say that's not our fight. Yeah.
Tom, the Butler County Republican Party did not endorse either Senate or governor.
Good. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. Let's let the people decide. And I wish the rest of them wouldn't do it. But they're out there doing it, aren't they? Too many of them. It's really a problem. Because again, they're slanting the election. Again, I'm looking for some campaigning, right? All I hear is political movement. Where are the ads? Where are the policy positions? What